to this series of short VIAVI how-to videos. This particular video is based on the VIAVI Network and Service Companion, shortened to Companion for the remainder of this video. This session will show us how to run a OnceCheck PON test. So, from the mobile tech app that you can see being displayed on the screen now, this is how we control the Companion, and so I simply select Companion to go in to get access to the various tests that I can run on the Companion. I simply select the OnceCheck PON test, and here we can see the menu available for the OnceCheck PON. All the engineer needs to do is to determine which particular profile they'd like to run. There may be 3 different profiles, for example, for 3 different products that a customer may have. But I'm simply going to select GPON, that's a profile I'd like to use. And the only other thing the engineer needs to do is to enter a serial number now, and I'm just pasting one in, of the end user hardware that my tester is going to emulate. And that's it. I simply select test, and now what we see is a prompt for the engineer to make sure that the engineer inspects before they connect. And that's really important, to make sure the end of the fibre is clean before we connect it to anything, in this case the Companion. So I select done, and now you can see the test has started. This particular test typically will take about 40 seconds and is available to all users of the Companion from day one of buying the tester. And what this particular test does for us is it identifies and displays and tests the 3 major things that are issues for our customers globally when rolling out fibre. The first thing is there any power being received? And I think you can see here, we can see the power being received of the tester on the Companion, which is emulating the ONT, remember, is neg 13.8 dBm. The second issue is that power enough in order for the circuit to work correctly? And we can see that it is, because nice and clearly we can see a green tick mark, and the engineer can see the green tick mark shown to us at the physical layer or SFP layer at layer 1 in the OSI 7-layer model. So that's the first key piece of information. There is light, and the second piece is there is enough light. The third piece, perhaps the most valuable of all, is that we have a PON ID being displayed by the tester. Now the PON ID is a key enabler because it tells us that we on this fibre are connected to the right equipment in the exchange, on the right shelf and on the right port. So the PON ID is a very valuable piece of information for us. And again, we can see that we've got a nice green tick to tell us at layer 2, which is the link or GPON layer, that everything's okay. And then you can see a summary up here of the test, showing that the test is completed, not running, but completed, and the profile that we selected is GPON. So all this information will be added to the saved test results. So it's very quick, very easy test to run, and the 3 key bits of information that we need are displayed from day 1 for every single customer. There's some additional information that we can also derive from the test results. If we look down here, the details, this effectively opens up the results that were summarized a few seconds ago to give us a bit more information. So now if we look at layer 1 again, the additional information we could have a look at is we can see that the transmit from my tester is 9.7 dBm, so that's the power that's being transmitted back up into the exchange or central office. We can also see, and this was displayed earlier on, that the power that the hardware in the exchange is transmitting, the OLT transmit in other words, is a power level of 3.6 dBm. So we can work out that there's a power loss, a dB loss across the link of over 17 dBs in this particular case. So that's layer 1. At layer 2, the additional information we can see is we can see that the hardware in the exchange is emitting power at class B, and that the vendor of the hardware in the exchange in this case is Alcatel, but it could be Huawei or one of the other major hardware manufacturers. So I'm going to close the details tab back up to give us our summary view, and the last thing to say that we may want to do is we may want to select report and then just save this report. Perhaps adding the name now, you can see. And there it is, and then I select generate report, and that report is now being saved up into the cloud. So it's probably fair to say that within a minute we can connect to a fibre, we can run a test to find out exactly what's happening on that fibre, and then we can save a report up into the cloud. And that's it. That's a how-to OnceCheck PON on the VIAVI Companion. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you.